Before we get out to course, this is where things stand nearing the midway mark of the day. 14 points collected. No one has even come close to that mark. Still with half a round to play is Chang Soo-yeon and Aline. 4 points collected. It's currently sitting 3 back at 40. Lee So-young 6 points on the day for a combined tournament score of 42. Peng Min-ji, that is one to certainly remark. 1 point dropped through 8 holes. Certainly been a slow start to her day, and almost a birdie a hole for our leader. Park Ji-young and Shihan Seol, 10-point days as well. The top 2 names on page number 2. Peng Min-ji would have needed that to get back to where she started the day, if not one better, and she lips out. Looking for her 7th win in 2021. Close that time. She rounds out her front 9 with another par. You can see a triple bogey that came back at the 6th hole, excuse me. That dropped her down to 39 points. 3 birdies, or 3 pars in a row, rather, has her level on 39 points. And Aline putting from the fringe and getting that to fall. Tip of the cap. And her 3rd birdie. She is now on 42 points. Lee So-young last to finish off. A great approach, leaving her with a 3-footer. She too bounces out. She'll just take a few seconds and get ready to play par. You can see she did not need to strike it with that much pace. About a third of the ball started to drop, but was enough on it to have it immediately leap out of the cup. Dusts herself off, back-to-back pars. She'll be tied with Annaline on the way to the 10th tee. And over 210, starting the back 9 with a long par 5, 483 meters, and each of the 3 members of the penultimate group are all in the fairway. Sung will be first to play her approach shot. A hit and a stick. 2 meters outside of a look at birdie. Question of which club do I want to play? Factor in the wind, 69 meters. So just a in-between decision on which wedge is the wedge. 3.7 meters is the average result from this distance. This range, 60 to 70 meters. Birdies here on the first day and yesterday as well, a par in round 2. She'll get a zip back towards the fringe, and it's going to keep on rolling. Well, she's within the average range. Struck that ball so well. A little bit more carry and she would have been sitting very pretty. Well, that is exactly what Imi Jung was hoping for. So 2 near certain birdies and a tricky one for Imi Jung. Back to 10 in a moment. At least the 10th green, that is. So Young first to tee off on the 10th. And a tie for second with Annalene now. Halfway through her final round. Step 1 in the books. Annalene, she is next. Birdies at the 3rd, 5th, and 9th holes. Just off to the right side of the first cut for Annalene. Well, it was a birdie at the second, par 5, and then the next par 5 she played, she shot a 7. So that double bogey dropped her 3 points. Everyone aiming to the right side of the fairway. Trying to cheat this dogleg right a little bit and take off some of the distance required to be played. Back to the green at number 10. It is 5.8 meters. Stayed to the inside for Im Hee-jung. A tap in par. Oh, that's an unfortunate miss to the inside. So birdie opportunity slips by for Hong Jung-min. Let's head a further couple of holes down the course to the fairway at the 12th. And our leader by just 1 stroke. Bounces to the extreme edge of the fairway and gets stuck in there. Jungmin looking for birdie. This would take her to 37 points, 6 back. Mostly straight putt, a little right to left if anything. She had just enough. Second birdie on the round. Bogey as well on the second hole. Starting number 10 on a high. So a simple tap-in finish for Ha-Min Song. Tilts her head back and looks up to the heavens, knowing an opportunity has passed her by. Now Chang Soo-yeon. Breezes by a foot or two beyond the outside edge of that cup. You can tell on the 14th today. Very far to the left, the flagstick is located. Let's take it back to the 10th. And I'll lean 251 for her. He's so young, will be next. Struck very well from the rough and back into the fairway. This hole meanders to the right. Playing the left green here this weekend. This is one of the more rolly terrain situations out on course. It's a relatively flat course compared to many that we have played this year. Peng Min-ji is also able to find the fairway. And the par save, a simple tap in. You can see 6 birdies in 9 holes to start the round. She was off to absolutely flying start. And Aline, she is 69 meters back of the green. Her third shot needs to carry over the hole, get a roll back. It's exactly what she's done. That's a lovely shot. Peng Min-ji from slightly more to the right on the way in. She had birdied here the second and third rounds. Lee So-young, as you saw, was just off to the front left of the green. Birdies here in each and every round at number 10. Well, this is a spot of trouble at the 11th for Lee Jung-min. No matter which way you shoot through the scaffolding, tough to get a look. Pace won't be the issue. Continues to swoop back to our right, closer to the center of the green. It's a decent up for Lee Jung-min. too much carry that time for Isomi. Here is Annalene looking for birdie. It's a little tap in and it is secured up to 44 points to top the leaderboard. Good start to her back nine. Well, it's a good par save after a long miss in behind the camera tower. Well, the 10th not handing out any easy looks at birdie from anything outside of a tap-in, so it'll be a par. Ri So-young, she breaks that streak. 3 pars now in a row after 3 birdies on the front nine. This has been a good stretch, 10 and 11 for Peng Min-ji the past couple of days. If she wants to contend, she needs these kinds of birdies. That will be one she regrets. So only Annalene able to navigate the first of 2 par 5s with a birdie based on how Peng Min-ji has done. Double bogey, a birdie, and a par now. Basically leaves her only with an eagle. That's just the way it's going to have to be on 17. Based on that average, one of everything. What a boost that would be on the second to last hole. Another approach that comes up short. Unable to find the smoothest cut of grass. Stuck in the fairways, Im Hee-jung. Well, that is going to get the bounce and roll Im Hee-jung was just searching for. Bit further out, but also putting. This is obviously a mega event in terms of purse, a point swing, especially for those in the chase for the top 60 to secure their tour card for 2022. But one of the biggest events of the year coming up. Just a few days' time. We'll trade Iksan in for Busan, the BMW Ladies Championship co-sanctioned event between the LPGA Tour of Korea and the LPGA Tour. Last year was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which means Chanana is still the reigning champion. And there is $2 million American up for grabs in that event in the prize fund. with 300,000 American dollars earmarked for the winner. That is double what is up for grabs here this week. Well, that little chip to get into par territory for Im Hee Jung. Meanwhile, Annalene teeing off at the 11th. Tied for 12th, the last event, the 21st Height Jinro Championship, Hana Financial Group Championship. She finished in a tie for 20th. Best result this season was a tie for 3rd. She definitely has herself in contention to at least match that this week. So Young, a 5-time winner in her KLPGA career. 2016, trio in 2018, and last year's winner of the 8th E1 Charity Open. Maybe that near miss will be enough to rattle Peng Min-ji in a good way. Dial that focus in one more step, up to her best rank of the year in the World Rolex rankings at 14th. A late move to the inside on that look at birdie. Now Lee Jung-min lifting this out of the fairway. A satisfactory end result with that shot. You can tell the greens are playing a little bit more firm today. You can hear it, you can see it. Ha-Min Sung on 11 for birdie. And yes, she will get that to go. Rewarded for a really nice approach. First birdie since the 6th hole, just her 3rd on the round. She is 5 back of the lead with that completion. Cheng Soo-yeon now chipping from off the green. Will roll ever closer. 4 feet out. Now the approach for Annalene will land in between the 2 greens. You're going to hear the number 6 today a lot with Peng Min-ji. That is how many events she's won this year. Twice a runner-up as well, and once a 3rd place finish. Pretty remarkable. Nearly half the events she has competed in this year, she has finished inside of the top 3. Only 2 top 10 finishes for Lee So-young. She starts to straighten out her ascent and straighten out the game. Shots like that aren't going to help her, though. Every swing is magnified with just 8 holes to play. Every birdie is magnified. Every every bogey, the same can be said. Lee Jung-min, nice finish. Just takes 3 strokes at the 12th. Now in sole possession of 4th on 41 points. Par save for Cheng Soo-yeon. It's her longest run of pars at any point throughout the day. Still in second as Annalene has surpassed her. Peng Min-ji, her chip, trades in the putter. Here's Lee Jung-min. Teeing off at the par 3 13th, 50 meters per second, the ball speed on release, 25 meters at the apex, and is going to get a pretty good roll. Landed much more to the right than she would have needed to be. The weight on that shot was near perfect. Lee So-young putting from off the green from the fringe. That is always the danger with that pin location today. Very aggressive, slopes back down. It can continue to pick up speed and get away from you, so par will be full concentration required on that one. Hamin Song now 116 from the fairway at the 12th. Bounces once before the green and can't climb the hill. Annalene, we just saw how much descent there is to our right of the cup, so she has to weight this well. Uses the fringe as her friend, and she gets it to roll in as well. What a recovery shot from the rough for Annalene. 3 birdies in a row now, and a 3-shot cushion. Unbelievable. Hole out from there. And what a feeling this would be for Annalene. Her first win of the season. She was a runner-up at the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship. 2 wins in 2020, including a big one at the Hana Financial Group Championship. She's come close a couple of times this year. She's never been able to put the full 4 rounds together. We'll get back to the 12th in a moment, but first, fast forwarding a bit to the 13th. Lee Jung-min on its way back in, and it is going to have the strength. So now she's up to 43 points. That ties Cheng Soo-yeon, so she is hot on the heels of Annalene. Well, a disappointing bogey. Her first of the round. That takes her 5 back now of her group mates for the lead. It's a nice chip for Hamin Song. Just a tap-in par remains for her. Up to the fairway, 105 remaining for Cheng Soo-yeon. Gets Gets stuck on the left side of the fringe. Sand in between the two greens here as well. So keeping that out of play was important. Now Hong Jung-min currently in 7th position. Didn't quite have the magic of Anna Lean's chip in. That's a very good try. Flattens out the path before the cup and rolls in that par. Well, this is the look at birdie. For Im Hee-jung, 9.6 meters. It's going to really start to notice that right to left break at the end. And we'll take 2 this time through. Well, let's see what's going on the par 3 16th. Well, based on that graphic, a near ace is what is going on. A really tricky, picturesque island green. Well, not only did Chae Hae-jin nearly get a hole-in-one, she continues to climb as she gets this birdie to rebound off the stick. Already matched her score from the second and third rounds. She's nearly combined those so far with a 13-point haul so far today. She is in the bottom row, the front page of the leaderboard in 7th position. Anna Lean, what a chip in that was as she's gone 3 points clear atop the leaderboard. Well, this par 4 12th, a dog leg to the right, to the left, excuse me. You want to aim to the right, what I'm trying to get at, off the tee, and then it straightens out with the big pine defending the middle of the fairway for the second shot. Sand off to the left before the bend, water to the right, 2 more sand traps around the holes, and as we zoom in and see, looking for the right green this weekend. Just 6 yards off the front, 7 yards from the right is the pin today. Well, the honor very much belongs to Anna Lean. Would be win number 3 in her career, but it's been long enough that she's going to have to knuckle down, settle in, block out the noise, all the cliches, and just play her game. Bang Min-ji, she's headed left. Well, luckily for her, she stays on the extreme of the fairway. Be interesting how she plays it, because with the right green in use this weekend, be a bit more of a straight shot. %78 fairways in regulation with driver. An average driving distance of 218 meters for Lee So-young. She gets the good bounce that Peng Min-ji had, and she's going to just surpass her at the end for the longest drive of the three. Couldn't place them much better than that. In a line, Annalene, Peng Min-ji, and Lee So-young. And away they go down the 12th fairway. Here's Chang Soo-yeon, chipping from the fringe. A lovely touch that was. It's almost more disheartening when you get that close. Because you go, I'm just literal centimeters away from birdie. I'd almost rather it come about a foot shorter than that. Go, well, at least I gave it my best shot. That's when it weighs on you a little bit. Especially in her situation where she's starting to cool off. Here's Hamin Song. Only 4 points picked up on the day. Round one score of 15. Hyun-Shin Sun did better in that day. She had 17 points, 10 in round two, and then her game just dried up. She used up all of her good shots early, going 17-10, exactly even yesterday, and now only 1 point. She's fallen down into a tie for 24th position. Jungmin, her best round of the tournament came yesterday, the 14. Started the day in a tie for 5th position with Im Hee-jung. Was also having a slow day as well, only 1 point for the latter. It's going to go down as a little bit too late, but she is closing in on the top 15. And with 2 holes remaining, she still has time to try and push for a top 10 finish. She could get there with a pair of birdies down the stretch. You see Annalene playing her next at the 12th. The shortest of the 3 drives. Landing with a thud and rolling the opposite direction from Peng Min-ji. Muscling it up. He's so young. And she's going to get just as close as Annalene. 2 great looks at birdie coming up. We are seeing pin seeking all over the course, even as the wind picks up. Lee So-mi in a tie for 14th. Down 5 spots from where she started the day, and sharing that score of 34 with Park Young-kyung. Lee Jung-min, she is next. She does one better. My goodness. We certainly can't count Lee Jung-min out of this race. That is almost the guaranteed birdie. She'll be moving up into the top 3. That was the voyage down the par 5 17th, the longest hole on the golf course. Has the 6th beat by just 2 meters. Here's Chae-Hee-Jean. Cannot discount what this would do for her chances. Look at this. About 5 centimeters away from an eagle, which would have catapulted her forward. Would have taken her up to 43 points. But now holding on to sole possession of 5th. Just 1 hole to play. It's a good late round charge, late tournament push from Chae-Hee-Jean. Hong Jung-min for birdie at the par 3. Rattles it in. Rolled in as well for Lee So-mi, her first birdie since the 3rd hole, and yes, a display of relief. Lee Jung-min to move within 1 of Annalene. She gets it there. Well done. 4 of 5 holes in a row have been birdies. Now she is knocking on the door, just 1 back of Annalene. Good try from Peng Min-ji, just missed to the inside. It almost seems jarring to say, but consistency overall has been an issue for Peng Min-ji. She is the best player in the country, sometimes in the world, when every aspect of her game is firing on all cylinders. Obviously the 6 wins, but 4 missed cuts. There's days where the putter just doesn't seem to be working for her. Annalene lets a massive opportunity slip. Lee Jung-min is going to see that on the leaderboard and think, I might have a real shot at this. Finally, the run of 3 birdies in a row comes to an end. It is just a par. An unforced error. The rest of the field breathes a bit of a sigh of relief. Lee So-young, a short birdie to move up to 43 points. That somehow stays out as well. Can hardly believe that. 4 of her last 5 holes have been parred, with a bogey coming the hole just prior to that. Also not great. Well, just 6 pars in a row since the double at the par 5 6th. Her only birdie came at the second hole, which was also a par 5. Barring some kind of a Herculean birdie conversion, she'll be looking at her 7th par in a row. The green is mostly wide open for Lee So-young to attack. Lots of loft on this. She needs to be beyond the pin. That is fortunate to avoid the sand, but got a lot underneath it, and that just killed any potential to carry towards the cup. 103 on 14 for Ha-Min Song. It's caught well. Bounces, rolls, and spins to a stop above the hole. Above in the sense that she will be putting downhill for her birdie try. Speaking of birdie tries, to 15. Zheng Suyun. See the movement to the right. Has she got it right? Yes, she has. A little bit of a remember me statement on the 15th. Up to 16 points for the day. Only Kim Ji-young too with a better score in this championship Sunday. We'll back out to the par 3 13th as we resume our coverage of Championship Sunday. It's a long look at birdie, that will set up a par. Downhill from the edge of the fringe. We'll see Park Young for the first time today looking for a birdie at her penultimate hole. Cold enough to have the earmuffs out. 3 birdies in a row for Park Young, now up to 36 points. .7 meters is the distance at this birdie putt for Annalene, right to left and dropping down closer to the cup. That's a great rebound. Really, really important birdie putt. It's now 4 in the last 5 holes, and it should be 5 for 5. But she can't dwell on that. That's our job, to wonder what if. Well, the 16th, it is the final par 3 of the round. That is where we find Zheng Suyun and her group. Skips a couple of times and comes to rest about 4.5 meters out. Bang Min-ji, can she finally get her birdie? No. That might have been her last chance to keep pace with Annalene. Well, the vibe, the feelings around her and this tournament certainly feel a lot different than they did when we saw her finish at 18 yesterday. 9 back of the lead now. Ha-Min Song. That carried a lot of pace. Too much, as it would end up being. Jae Jean, 15 points on the day, playing her 72nd and final hole of the tournament. And she's going to end with a flourish. Well, wouldn't put it past her on this run of form to have one more birdie in store. She's up 17 spots on the day. That birdie would take her to 42 points and sole possession of 4th. And the par is saved for Lee So-young after a significant miss off the tee. And birdie is made for Imi Jung. Just her first birdie since the second hole. A lot of pars and one bogey in between her birdies. And a tie for 9th spot now on 37 points. Ha-Min Song to save par and stay at 39. Oh, she's missed it. Seen a couple misses from 4 or 5 feet today. That is one of the more surprising ones. And again, all she can do is tilt her head back and search up for answers. All right, does she have one more bit of magic? Chae Hae-jin for 42 points and 4th. Yes. A round of applause and a remarkable day of 17 points. And if not for a bogey early in her round, would have been 43 and 18. That is, Kim Ji-young too is inclined to finish at the minute with just 1 hole to play, though she is on the front 9. But you can't take anything away from the day from Chae Hae-jin. Lee Jung-min now down the hill to the green. Bogeys in the 2nd and 3rd round here. She cannot have that if she wants to keep pace with Anna Leen, and she's found herself in a bit of trouble as well, coming up short of the green. So difficult downhill in a front-located pin. Plants plenty of seeds of doubt. Anna Leen, here she goes, teeing off on the 14th. Down to the final 5 holes on the day. Getting a good run down the left side of the fairway. Min-ji, she is next. Only 70% fairways in regulation this week. Starting to warm up a bit now, up to 12 degrees, and Peng Min-ji is going to shed a layer and try and stay cool. Sounded good, it looked good. Lee So-young seems content with it. Picks up her tee and moves on as that ball continues to roll down the hill. Somewhere in between her drive and Peng Min-ji's. Lee Jung-min, a little run up the hill, rolls it back to a stop. She'll avoid the bogey, so that streak is over. Cheng Su-yeon for birdie at the 16th, 4.5 meters out, stayed to the inside. A pretty good approach to that as well. Park Young. Putter in hand, and she makes the final walk down the fairway. Bang Min-ji inside of 100 meters only just. It's 99 out. Starts to drop. Drawn in too much, and she's up onto the fringe. Well, able to find the green, but outside of legitimate birdie range. Now Annalene, 84 meters, just a little bit of a pitch. Down it goes. Rolls down the left side. She's pin high, but off the green. Lee Jung-min's turn. Teeing off at the 16th. 3 back of the lead. Already a winner in 2021. She'll be very satisfied with that result. Nice on. Imi Jung. Well, that's a great approach as well. Annalene now. A little bit of a flopper. She had a chip in from a similar situation from the fringe. That one was going to be tricky. How you got to get it up and stop it almost immediately. So should just be a par. Be able to carry that score 48 to the next. Well, she had birdied here in rounds 2 and 3. Rebound's pretty good just off the fringe, and will roll closer. Now Bang Min-ji putting from the fringe. Averaging just a hair inside 30 putts per round. That's a good one. She'll have to smile at that. She's had a lot better looks, a lot more simple opportunities. That's the one she makes, but hey, they all count the same. Can't help but laugh to herself. It's a really, really nice putt. She's got 4 holes left. If she birdies them all, and Annalene fails to make up ground, Bang Min-ji still has a chance. So Young wanted to guide that in with her putter. The line was great. A little bit too much pace. So now she and Peng Minji are tied on 41 points and a tie for 5th position. And over we go to the par 4 18th. Only 3 meters remain out of 354 on this hole. Miss hit off the tee, went into the rough. And now this is left for par for Pak Young. She steps up in a big moment. Nicely done. Her second best round of the tournament. 10 points added. She will finish on 36 and a tie for 12th right now. Now Ha-Min Song, for birdie, this would take her to 40 points, 2.5 meters, 60% likelihood of a make. Set up about a foot too far to the left. Never came back towards the cup. Disappointing one, still stuck at 38 points. 10 back of Annalene as we go to the 15th. Another dogleg right with a pond. Off to the right, 3 fountains in that pond. In case you're keeping track at home. Landing zone anywhere between 150 and 110 meters. 225 meters from the tee, then it straightens out. If you ever wondered how they keep the bunkers in such great shape, that's the person on the tractor is your answer. Then 2 sand traps on either side of this right green where we are playing today, and immediately off to the front and right. 4 yards from the right, 5 yards from the front. A really aggressive pin location today. Another one where it's downhill. Peng Minji off for birdie, teeing off first. Well, we were half joking saying that she needs pretty much to birdie each and every one of the final 4 holes to have a chance. She got 3 of 4 yesterday. Par at the par 3 16th yesterday. Birdies everywhere else. He's so young. Limped in from the 14th hole onwards. All pars. She tees off on 41 points and has gone left. Towards that line of trees before the hole straightens out. Now Annalene has driver in hand. Back out to 218 where more people continue to finish their tournament. Chihan Sol. One of a handful of players sponsored by one of the title sponsors of this tournament, the Korea Land Trust. And 3 inside of the top 20. Pak Ji-young, Chihan Sol, and Chang Soo-yeon still in a tie for second with Lee Jung-min. While her 77% driving accuracy is 16th on tour, though the distance only 82nd, 231 is her average off the tee. Here's Hong Jung-min. She too has her struggles. On this 15th green, catches a piece, but not enough of it. Lee Jung-min on 16. Can she get her birdie? A little bit of a tap to get it started, and she is holding out. What a round we are seeing from Lee Jung-min. Now one back of Annalene. She was good on the front nine, but she has been great on the back. Continuing to push. Imi Jung can get to 39 points. Would be clear of 7th. Clear in 7th, rather. She passes 4 players tied above her. Makes a pretty good jump. With 3 holes remaining. The aforementioned Chang Soo-yeon, 87 meters, slightly uphill. Well, that's a makeable birdie. Not a guaranteed one, but makeable. Lee So-young, here she goes. Playing her second from the rough, 153 meters downhill. Just in 2/3 the greens in regulation thus far. Comes up short. Comes up slightly to the right as well. Our leader, Annalene, birdie, par, and bogey here. One of each. She will be hoping for the same performance as round number 1, though she is short. For her confidence and for the chase, Jung-min needs a birdie here. That's a lovely roll. Look at this, centimeters out from an ace. That could light a fire. Way too stoic after a shot like that. There's the smile. Exceptional tee shot, and that could give her the bounce to 39 points. Retire with Im Hee-jung outside the top 10 at the minute, and a tie for 9th, but the 11th based on where she is in her round. Annalene leads by 1 stroke on 48 points, with Lee Jung-min chasing closely behind. Well, Annalene with a near chip-in birdie. Rolls it in close to set up a tap-in par. So the pursuit for 50 points will have to wait 1 more hole. Chang Soo-yeon. Late move to the outside right. So she will carry that 45-point score to her 72nd and final hole of the tournament. Now Lee So-young from off the green as well. Three feet beyond target, but that too is in the par range. She's running out of time. 7 points back of the lead with only 3 holes to play. She could keep herself in the conversation for a top 5 finish. Hamin Song looking for birdie. Needed it to move back to the right. Would have no intention of doing that. This is a very, very long putt for birdie for Peng Min-ji. Almost an identical result to her group mates. Should be a trio of 4s on this hole. Now this the birdie try for Hong Jung-min. Little left to right only, just. You could see the nerves shining through a little bit. It's a good birdie. 2 bogeys sandwiched in between her last 2 birdies. Still just on 3 points for the day. We head back out to the fairway at the 17th. Lee Jung-min, 206. And she is attacking this green. The pin, 10 yards off the back, 9 yards from the right, so she has some wiggle room here as well. Carried all the way over. Kept on rolling even. Remember, the green's playing a little more firm, a little harder today. So with that club selection, she needed to take a little bit less off that swing. Well, it was pars all around on the par 4 15th. This takes us to the final par 3 of the tournament. Well, she is now in the range of, I need all birdies. It's going to be a tough one, but it's makeable. We saw her make a wild birdie at the 14th not long ago. Now Annalene, her fate is in her hands at this point. She's only made 8 of her 15 greens in regulation, but the putter has been rock solid, as it always is for her. She is one of, if not the best putters on tour. Averaging 29.67 putts per round. That is the second best on the entire tour. She winds up being about as far out as Peng Min-ji, just from the front of the green. He's so young. She's off to the back and nearing the nasty rough in the water. Stays alive. But her greens in regulation this weekend, and quite frankly throughout the season, have kept her out of contention in a lot of tournaments. 47th GIR percentage at 71.44. And a little flopper rolling back down towards the cup. This is a lovely shot, and it's in the hole. When you can laugh at an eagle, that's how you know you've hit a remarkable shot. Shooting up 5 points for Isomi with that make. And now to a tie for 5th. And yeah, you are going to smile after that one. So for context, that's where she landed after her second shot. She drove beyond the green and perfect touch. You knew it was going in. Still grinning from ear to ear. Well, we will be seeing that shot again in the final round highlights. No doubt about that. Now from the fringe, just a short play up for Lee So-young. Wind in her face, but that is on line. Watch it roll in closer. You tap in birdie. Well, she is there in two. Now Lee Jung-min, she also went for it in two. She came up on the fringe. Well, she won't match Lee So-mi, but should set herself up in good stead. That birdie would take the lead back from Annalene, though. The leader would have a chance to respond with that birdie putt momentarily. So these two are in the closest battle on course. This is for that birdie to get to 50 points. It's going to stay left. Comes up short. A tap in three on the 16th. Now 3 pars in a row. 4 of her last 5 holes have just been pars. Cooling off at perhaps a dangerous time, the wrong time to do so. Pang Min-ji likes the looks of that. That gives her an outside chance. This is 3.8 meters. We've seen this putt stay a little bit more straight than it might initially appear. Let's see how Pang Min-ji handles it. It looks good. It looks great. It's in the hole. So now just 5 back. She's got the time to do it. She would need a slip from Annalene and hope that Lee Jung-min and Jang Soo-yeon don't pick up any more along the way. Speaking of, 137 from the fairway on 18. Staying around the border of the green and the fringe. Now Lee Jung-min for birdie and 49 points. The penultimate hole in her tournament. Do we have a little late round drama? Yes! A new leader. With just 1 hole to play, what a back nine this is becoming. 9 birdies on the round, 6 of them have been in the last 7 holes. Remarkable stuff, and a new name atop the leaderboard. Lee Jung-min. A proper sprint to the finish. 1 billion won up for grabs in the prize fund this weekend. 180 million of it for our winner. Our 18th hole, our featured group of Lee So-young, Pang Min-ji, and Annalene getting set to begin the 17th. 492 meters. You got to clear the water first. Very wide fairway, which is mostly forgiving. As far right as you can be, the better. To set up a shot around the trees as things straighten out. And fitting for this hole, the sand on either side of the approach to the green with a pot bunker just off to the right cut in the middle of the fairway. Let's 65 meters. That is an average approach distance here. And playing to the right green today. Quite frankly, all weekend long. 19 yards from the front edge, just 10 yards from the back, and 9 yards from the right is the pin today. Being a little bit long isn't bad. With that slope back down, this is definitely a hole where you can go for it in two. Perhaps a little bit outside of Annaline's driving distance range, but we'll see how she attacks the second shot. She's off to a good start down the fairway. Lee So-young, she is next. 2 birdies here and a par yesterday. And down they go. The long walk around the pond. Now Lee Jung-min. This is her final opportunity to put some distance between her and Annaline. She has not birdied 18 all weekend long. Would be one heck of a time to do so, averaging 223 meters from the tee. Grits her teeth as she watches that fly into the cloudless sky and nicely into the fairway. Step 1 is done. Jung-min. She would have even been beyond the left green if that was the target this week. This is a really nice chip back towards the cup. Finishes about 7 feet beyond her target. Now Chang Soo-yeon on the 18th green. A look at birdie. Rolls beyond it. Oh, it keeps on going. Well, when we started our coverage nearly 2 hours ago, she was the leader. Stalled out on the back 9, and she could be finishing at least 3 back. Though, third spot in its entirety belongs to her at the minute. Im Hee-jung. Good shout at birdie, bounces off the back of the cup and stays out. Well, the par is recorded. It is 45. Rounds 1 to 4 respectively, 9, 10, 10, and 16. 6 birdies on the front, only 2 on the way in. She and her caddy walk off the 18th green. 3 back of Annaline, 4 back of Lee Jung-min. Here's Ha-min Sung. Needs to move at the end. It wanted to, it started to. So it is just a tap in. .38 points with 1 hole to play. Well, that misses to the other side. It's a disappointing 5 on the 17th. Ha-min Sung and Hong Jung-min both in that group together. Not able to make up the ground they needed down the stretch. Annaline laying up. It's the right decision. Couple of birdies in this tournament is hers. Now this is trouble for Isomi. After the eagle of the day, one of the best shots of her season, she went into the trees and escapes through the trees. Missing the fairway, although that is not a dire lie in the second cut. This is a little bit dire for Iso Young. 217 out. Well, it could have been a lot worse than that. That's a pretty good out around the trees. Buckyell, no doubt she'll be disappointed with this day. Just 2 points so far, the final hole for her. On the approach and a tie for 15th. It's a decent on. Opened up with a fantastic Thursday and Friday performance. 25 points at the midway mark of the event. Now, Lee Jung-min, 135. If she can set up a birdie, the pressure will really and truly be on Annalene. Might have just rolled too far. There will be a lot of pressure on that birdie putt. Nobody has been able to get to the 50-point mark. We are running out of time to get there. Well, Peng Min-ji, she is 6 back of Lee Jung-min. She could get 5 points with an eagle if she can set herself up well here. Needs to carry and roll onto the green. Oh, she's on. Well, how about this? That is why power can be so rewarding in this sport. Annalene doesn't have that in her arsenal. Basically became a prohibitive eagle. So with one swing, one putt, Peng Min-ji could pick up 5 points and get to 48 heading to the final hole of the event. A big splash of drama. Well, after a miss-hit tee shot, she's recovering well, Isomi. Now Iso Young, her third shot from the fairway. How quick she rotates those hips. That's where all the power comes from in her swing. She still may be further away from the pin than Peng Min-ji. Well, I don't know if you watch a shot from your group mate, a 6-time winner, and you see it and it inspires you or it intimidates you, because it's definitely one or the other. Let's see what Annalene can do. Well, that's her third shot, so she's looking at birdie. Well, for the neutral who doesn't have a particular favorite player on tour, you think, okay, if Annalene pars that, Peng Min-ji gets her birdie, what a finish we are in for. Lee Jung-min, this is her last chance to make a dent. To move to 51 points. Yes, she has. Well done from Lee Jung-min. 3 points clear of Annalene now. That could have been a tournament-defining putt. The pace was perfect. The break was there, left to right. And finally, we see somebody in the 50s. Well, in 2021, she has one runner-up finish, 2 third-place finishes. She has not won since 2016, Lee Jung-min. That could be changing in the next 15 minutes or so. Pak Yeol to finish on 37 points. She can move into a tie for 11th with this make. She just got the blueprint. A little bit closer in, but still left to right. Has she weighted it properly? Oh, so close. Only 2 points made up on the day. 10 points since her opening 2 rounds, and look at that, just 1 birdie at the 5th. She finishes on 35 in a tie for 15th. Pak Yeol. Lee So-mi, an eagle, brought her into a tie for 6th. She can keep this score. 41 points. And a good payday for her as well. Well done. Par is recorded. 3 birdies, an eagle, an 11-point day. And finishes 10 back of Lee Jung-min. That has taken her 3 clear of Annalene. So the most realistic shot is a birdie here to move within 1, and she can win it on 18. It's starting on line. It catches a piece and grazes, but does not fall. So now, an attempt at par. And with the Stableford system, five points could still win it for her on the next hole, but she would need the eagle. So the entire tournament might have just shifted right there. One hole further down, the penultimate group playing their last shots. This for eagle for Peng Min-ji. To give herself a chance. Oh, she too. Same portion of the cup and stays out. So it's still a birdie. It will take Peng Min-ji into a tie for 3rd. But that was her last chance. 6 points back at the leader with just 1 hole to play. I don't think she's getting an ace on 4. So it looks like we will have to wait again to see Peng Min-ji win her 7th of the year. The news filters through. And barring a miracle, Lee Jung-min is going to win this event. Lee So-young, oh, that is a nice birdie. 43 points, sole possession of 5th with 1 hole to play. Down 3 spots from where she started the day. Imi Jung, this is a long downhill putt. It's starting back on line. Oh, it's a great attempt. Well, 39 is where she will finish, a tie for 8th, with only 5 points collected on the day. Annalene to secure that par. Well, she's 12 points on the day. It's a good final round Sunday. It's a great, even, final round Sunday. But she just couldn't keep pace with Lee Jung-min's 19-point haul. To end on a positive and move up into a tie with Lee So-mi on 41 points. Too much pace. Not quite there on the line. Well, she will be the top rookie finisher. We'll take a big bite out of Sung Ga-eun's gap, 65 points behind Sung Ga-eun. Well, it all comes down to this. We need an eagle. Otherwise, this is Lee Jung-min's championship to win, her first in a few years. It's 354 meters this 18th. Fitting that we finish on a dogleg right, seeing as there's plenty of them on this course. There is your landing zone at the bend. Sand guarding the left green, where we are aiming for. And a pin location 10 yards off the back of the green and 8 yards from the right side of it. The 18th pin is usually one of, if not the most difficult to obtain, to attack. Well, as soon as this drive doesn't end up in the hole, we can confirm officially what we know. That is Peng Min-ji will not be winning this event. Still a nice tee shot. A birdie would be enough to get her past Chang Soo-yeon for 3rd. Still another top 3 finish for one of the best to do it in the world. 14th in the Rolex rankings. That's an unfortunate miss for birdie, but you can really see how tricky that cup is on the slope. Tap in par to confirm a quiet day of just 3 points for Ha-min Song. She finishes in 10th position at the Dongbu Construction KOREIT Championship. And a par attempt. Hong Jung-min, the top rookie this week. Par is made. She finishes in a tie for 8th with Lee Mi-jung. 5 points picked up on the day. Well, Annalene, a good tee shot and a hole out, and she wins this tournament. But it seems very improbable. She'll still play the shots. We never know until we know. Well, that is it. Fairway to hole. If it goes in, she wins. If it doesn't, Lee Jung-min will win this event. And our final group, our featured group, making their way down the fairway on 18. They teed off at 10:30 a.m. local time today, the 23rd group to do so. Now 3:15 in the afternoon. A gorgeous day in Iksan. Clear skies, a gorgeous shade of blue, and a really fun Stableford event. It's mixes it up a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed the modified competition as much as I have. We'll be back shortly to wrap up the 72nd and final hole and crown a winner. Well, the winner's towel is there. They can officially drape her in it if this does not find the cup. 3 times in her career she has finished second. She had sole possession of it at the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship earlier in the season. It all comes down to this. Needs an eagle from 137 meters, and she wins the tournament. Annalene. We'll give her credit for going for it. She comes up short. Lee Jung-min has won the inaugural playing of the Dongbu Construction KOREIT Championship with a score of 51 points. Annalene, she will have to settle for second. If she can finish off with a birdie, she would be just 1 point back. There is your winner. It's official now. She can celebrate. She's been a champion on the Ladies European Tour back in 2016. You count up all of her wins professionally. This is her 8th, the first since 2016. Well, ricocheting off Annalene's ball. The Bridgestone bump, we will call it. Peng Min-ji, the longest drive, 122 meters, as she approaches the green with the staff sponsors and other competitors watching on. That's a great shot. A birdie would take her to 47 points. Annalene should be finishing in the runner-up position. The congratulations have begun. They will wait for the water bottle shower, the flower shower as well, for the final groups to complete the 18th. Well, this would be quite the birdie for Lee So-young. Would take her into a tie with Peng Min-ji, 8.8 meters. It's got a chance. Ooh, it's gonna take a tap in. So she will finish the day all alone in 5th. 43 points for the tournament. Her best round was first, 14, then 12, then 10. Today it's 7. And a 5th place finish for Lee So-young. Well, the 29-year-old, it's not quite as dramatic when you're not in the final group. The celebrations wait for everyone, as they should, and I'm sure Annalene will be one of the first to go up and congratulate Lee Jung-min. Well, this would be a birdie. She would finish on 14 points and 1 back of the winner, but it would take quite the swing. .1 meters down the hill and a serious right to left snap. Slightly overhit. And the beauty of the Stableford scoring system, even if she quadruple bogeyed, she'd still finish in a tie for second. She will get ready for a par attempt to stay at 48 points. Peng Min-ji will try and finish first. So move her above Chang Soo-yeon into sole possession of third. Otherwise, she is sharing it. This for birdie for Peng Min-ji. It's going to miss to the inside. Well, there's another 65 million won to pad and add to her sensational year, nearly at $1.5 billion won collected and earned in the year 2021. It will be a 110 million won payday for Annalene. She stumbles, a bogey at the end. It's inconsequential. Second is hers. And it is confirmed. Annalene, despite a really good charge, a really good attempt, she is still searching for her first win in 2020. It is her fourth runner-up finish, the second of the year. And we can officially congratulate and celebrate Lee Jung-min, 29 years old, 5 years, 7 months, and 4 days since her last professional win. And she is the champion of the inaugural Dongbu Construction KOREIT Championship. Our congratulations to her. The 8th win in her pro career. And enjoy this moment, Lee Jung-min. It's a long time in the making. Well, this was the birdie putt to put the pressure on. She's the only player to reach and finish in the 50s. Count them up. 19 points on the day, nearly equaling Peng Min-ji's tournament best round score yesterday of a 20. She bogeyed the 8th, but otherwise a near perfect back nine. 7 birdies on the back nine to go along with 3 more on the front. And she is your winner by 4 strokes of Annalene. Lee Jung-min, a champion again on the LPGA Tour of Korea. Well, we'll reverse the order a little bit. Still waiting for them to get set up on 18, so let's go through the final round highlights. We begin on the par 5 6th hole. Well, this is where things went awry for Peng Min-ji. Missing a bogey putt to drop 2 strokes, and that was ultimately one of the defining moments in her day. She'd have to battle the rest of the way through to try and get back to the top. Lovely chip in from Annalene on the 11th. That was the 3rd birdie in a row at that point. And we head to 13, Lee Jung-min. Just inside of 10 meters. Coming back to the left and inching its way forward and down. 3rd of 7 birdies on the back nine for Lee Jung-min at that minute. Then Chang Soo-yeon, birdie at the 15th. Her scorching hot start kept her in contention. Slowed down a little bit on the back nine. Would finish the day and the tournament in a tie for 3rd. Then Annalene at 13 for birdie. On the par 3, another long putt that just got enough of the outside portion of the cup. Fast forward to the 17th. Chang Soo-yeon A wobbly putt that went this way, went that way, and would just stay out. Lee Jung-min. From in behind the green, she outdrove the putting surface with her second shot. That would have been for an eagle. She chips in to about 6 or 7 feet and rolls in that birdie. And that moved her to 49 points. Her 6th birdie. Only 11 and 15 she parred on. Then on the 18th, a long range putt. This all but sealed it. Down it went. That moved her up to 51 points. Tip of the cap, and she would just have to watch from the sidelines as the rest of the field would finish through. The biggest challenge came from Anna-Leen. Needed that for birdie. It went over the outside for her and would stay out. She would have to settle for a par on this occasion. And this was the last chance for Peng Min-ji, realistically. She did so well to get in this position, looking for eagle, catches the same side of the cup and stays out. Deep bend at the knee, and she knew that was probably her last opportunity. So Anna-Leen, this was her approach on 18. If this went in, she won it. If she came up short, it was Lee Jung-min's tournament. As we know now and as we see again, it was the latter. And the champion again on the LPGA Tour of Korea, Lee Jung-min, the flower shower. Well, that's going to do it for us here from the Igsun Country Club. We hope you enjoyed the Stableford. We hope you enjoyed the event. We look forward to the BMW Championship next week, the joint sanctioned event with the LPGA Tour and the LPGA Tour of Korea. On behalf of everyone who brought this event to you, both on location in Igsun and around the world, we hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. My name is Adam Jenkins. For everyone on our crew, thank you for now. Stay well, be well, and we will talk to you next time on the LPGA Tour of Korea.